Will this plant really make you sneeze? Stick around to find out. Hi, I'm Madeline, and I love to grow native plants. On this channel, you'll learn all about growing native plants in your state. Before we talk about New Jersey native plants, I bet you're wondering, why do native plants matter? Go check out my video titled Native Plants versus Global Warming for more details about why you should plant native plants. So what state are we on today? It's New Jersey. It's the 7th native plant video I've made for native plants in all 50 states. Okay, so here's our map, and New Jersey is right here. They just got a butterfly. So the first native plant slash flower for the state of New Jersey that I found to be very good, in fact excellent, is the New England aster. The New England aster is a wildflower that blooms in autumn, and many wildlife species love this flower. The flowers are bluish purple. To me, they're purple with a little yellow center. I have one in our health strip garden, and I have more than one actually, and it likes full sun to partial sun. Mine are in full sun. They do take a beating in the summer when, you know, there's not a lot of rain around here in Oklahoma. In my research, I found that the New England aster grows well in mid-Atlantic states. But don't let the name New England aster throw you, because you can grow it in lots of areas in the United States. Here's a little tip about New England aster. It will grow up to 6 feet tall. So if you don't want anything that tall and you'd like to have more blooms, in the spring, I cut mine back down to about 3 feet tall. So around here in Oklahoma, that might be April. You can do it as late as May, and then it'll start branching out. Just like anything, it's kind of pinched back. I get out the hedge clippers. There are enough different varieties of New England aster that you can have different color flowers, such as pink, yellow, purple. I did mention that the bloom time is in the fall, so it could vary depending where you live, anywhere between August and November. But don't think it's going to bloom for 4 months. It maybe, a month or two. In the United States, New England aster goes from Canada all the way down to some southern states and goes west to Oklahoma. It's also found in the mountainous areas of Wyoming, New Mexico, and Colorado. Depending which source I get my information from, things vary a little bit in what they say this plant will tolerate. One source said it likes moist soil and also light requirement part shade. So, I think it's a pretty adaptable plant no matter where you are. This is a little different than what I've noticed with my plant, but one source said that it will bloom until frost. I don't think mine does that, but I'm not in New Jersey, I'm in Oklahoma. I don't want you to think this is a bad plant. Another source said it could be aggressive. Well, if you divide the roots every several years, that'll keep it growing nicely and maybe not have those bald spots in the middle of a big patch like I have, because I've never divided the roots. I bet you can guess which wildlife likes New England aster because of all the blooms, and it has nectar in the fall, which is pretty unusual. I mean, there aren't that many nectar flowers in the fall. So we're going to say butterflies and all kinds of bees. It has special value for native bees, bumblebees, and honeybees. You can propagate it from seeds that you collect after the seed heads are dry in late fall. And it requires cold stratification, which you can read about, in order for them to behave properly and sprout. As I'm not a very patient person, I bought the plants. And I don't remember buying much more than 2 plants initially, and it has spread from One side of our driveway in the Hell Strip, if you know what that is, I talked about that before. It's the area of lawn or native plants and flowers that you can put between the curb of the street and the sidewalk if you have sidewalks. So that's what my Hell Strip is. So now it spreads from one edge of the driveway all the way up to probably, I'm guessing it's about 4 or 5 feet from this one plant. And then I have some more in another Hell Strip area. Another variety is growing there of aster, native aster. It's a little bit shorter. It blooms at a slightly different time. So you can play around with all the different varieties out there, but make sure they're native. The really cool thing about the New England aster is that the flowers are just all over the top of the plants. So it's like a blanket of beautiful purple. And butterflies will go nuts for it, as well as bees you've never seen before. Little teeny green ones, different species of native bees, bumblebees, they go ape over it. Before we move on to the second plant for New Jersey, like and subscribe to catch more of my native plant videos. Be sure to stick to the end of this video to learn how to find even more of the best native plants for your area. Okay, here's our number 2 plant for the state of New Jersey. It's called the woodland sunflower. Another name for it is the rough sunflower. And like the New England aster, it's a member of the aster family. So, you know, I didn't put it there. The botanists did. When you hear the word sunflower, you probably think of that gigantic headed, heavy-headed regular sunflower. It gets really tall. There's some shorter varieties, and it just bends and falls over. The birds eat the seeds out of it. This is not that kind of sunflower. This sunflower has much more delicate flowers, and as a matter of fact, little tiny goldfinches, which match the sunflower in color, at least the males do, love to eat the flower petals, which I find strange. A little more information about the plant's characteristics. They can grow up to 5 feet tall, so they're going to be more of a background plant if you're planting in a bed like near against your house or fence. Put them in the background probably. And they like either dry or moist soil, so adaptable just like the New England aster that way. And just to not confuse you, another source said they like sun to part shade. Just have to kind of evaluate where you want to put it and take this with a grain of salt. The flowers are real pretty yellow, and they bloom from June through September. So why do you want to plant this woodland sunflower? They have special value to native bees, which are really important to support, as well as birds. I told you about the goldfinches liking to munch on the petals. Support this channel so that I can continue to create content like this by purchasing one of my favorite gardening tools with the Amazon affiliate link below. And here it is. Beat up, it's dirty, it's well used. It has a strap to keep it on your head. Not sure how windy it is where you live, but where we live, the wind can really blast your hat right off. It's adjustable on the inside. It's got these little ties. It has UPF protection from the sun. I'm going to wreck my hair and put it on. So, nice wide brim. And if I'll wear a hat, it can't be all bad because I hate wearing hats. But if the sun's beating down, this is a good deal. Or you can try to go out before the sun is beating down, but I don't get up that early. Now we're ready for our third and last plant that I chose for New Jersey native plant gardeners. This one is another yellow flowering plant. There seems to be a lot of yellow out there, and it's called wreath goldenrod. Will this plant make you sneeze like we talked about in the beginning? Only if it's really ragweed, which is what people mistake goldenrod for a lot. Goldenrod does not make you sneeze. Ragweed does. I will put up a picture of ragweed for you. and you can compare goldenrod, ragweed. So the answer is you won't need to buy extra tissues if you plant goldenrod. The main reason I pick goldenrod in general and wreath goldenrod in particular is because they are absolutely wonderful for wildlife. Goldenrod support hundreds of species of wildlife, birds, pollinators, and let's not forget the insects. They're important. It thrives in all kinds of different environments. Shady, sunny, they can handle it. This species, the wreath goldenrod, has a lot better manners than some of the other goldenrods. It won't sprawl and spread and try to take over. And guess what? It likes all kinds of soil, loamy, clay. It likes moist or dry soil. So the point is, nectar in the fall is fabulous for our native species. As far as the size goes, this can grow from 1 to 3 feet. It's a slender plant and it does branch, but the flowers go into an arch shape above the leaves. It's just pretty graceful looking. And it will tolerate shade, which is huge for a lot of gardeners, because if you're a dedicated gardener of any sort, you soon fill up all the sunny places. You want to dig up your lawn, which is great. Dig some lawn up, but the shade areas are so hard to find something that'll grow. So this one will, this goldenrod is like the New England aster in that it'll bloom in the fall. August, September, October are the months I got for this variety. So like I was saying earlier, this is a very mannerly goldenrod. It's a small, non-aggressive goldenrod, which is awesome. I think another name for this that I left out earlier, there's so many different names, blue-stemmed goldenrod. The flowers attract butterflies, but also it's beneficial to native bees and other pollinators. My notes say that it attracts birds. I can't tell you how, but it does. This concludes the 3 native flowers that you can plant in New Jersey. I hope that you're ready to jump in and plant native plants in your area. I'd love to help you. Comment below with your state and I'll release a video soon for you. Subscribe and hit the bell to be notified as I release new videos on native plants for every state in the United States. Plus, you can get help to find your best native plants today by downloading my free How to Find the Best Native Plants in Your Area PDF right here. And there is a link in the description too for this PDF. Thank you for watching.